Today I want to share with you an incredible story about two fishermen who were working on a boat about 40 miles off the coast of Virginia. The boat was struck by a large freighter, cut in half, and they were left for dead in the middle of the night. Hi, I'm Jesse Suit, personal injury attorney with Kalfus Nachman, practicing throughout the state of Virginia. I represented these two gentlemen who were working on the back deck of the vessel about 3:30 on a very foggy night. One of them heard a noise, looked up, and couldn't believe he saw a wall of white water approaching him. The next thing he knew, he was in the water himself, and he looked up to see a huge freighter that had cut his scallop boat in two passing by. He ended up staying in the water along with two other crew members. They sang to each other all night to try to keep their spirits up. They were hanging on to floating debris, a cooler box, and a life ring. After about 10 hours in the water, after the sun came up and the fog lifted, a sailboat that was traveling to Norfolk, Virginia, just happened to cross them in the middle of the ocean, called the Coast Guard, and they were rescued. They contacted us to see what we could do. We didn't know who the freighter was. It was a foggy night. They were in the water trying to survive. They didn't see the name on the ship that cut them in two. So what do? Well, the Coast Guard performed an investigation, and it was determined that it was likely that one ship traveling from Philadelphia to Miami may have been the one involved. An investigation was performed. Here's what we were able to do to piece together exactly what happened. We looked at the radar logs. They were altered. We looked at the GPS logs. They were altered. We looked at the position logs. They were altered. We looked at the engine room engine RPM logs. They were changed. We looked at the fuel consumption logs. They didn't match the distance that the vessel traveled. We looked for a course printout required on that vessel. One of the officers said he threw it away. When he was reminded that he was required to keep it according to company policy, he then remembered, like another officer had testified, that the machine had jammed. Ultimately, that course printout was found. And through circumstantial evidence, piecing together the dots, we were able to prove that it was that foreign freighter that struck the scallop boat, sank it, and caused his casualty. We were able to get a very generous settlement for our clients. Why am I telling you this? Because this case involved a lot of work, a lot of research, and a lot of effort, and that's what we do. I'm Jesse Suit. I'm a maritime attorney here at Kalfus Nachman. Call me. Thanks for watching.